when nature unleashes its fury, a single storm, a wave of brutal cold, or a surge of scorching heat is enough to push human life to its most fragile edge. Across Earth, there are still extreme and surreal corners that seem to belong to another dimension entirely. There, homes cling to sheer mountain cliffs. Communities endure within eternal ice, and solitary shelters stand in the middle of burning deserts without a single tree in sight. Despite these harsh conditions, life continues to find a way to survive in environments that appear completely hostile to human existence. Join us as we explore the most extreme corners on Earth, where every landscape challenges expectation and leaves you in awe of the planet's raw and untamed power. Do you dare to step out and stand on a granite boulder of approximately 177 cubic feet, perfectly wedged between the two sheer cliffs of the Kjerag mountain range in Norway? Kjeragbolten has become a global symbol of adventure tourism, a place where thrill seekers are willing to brave their fear of heights just to capture a once-in-a-lifetime photograph. Below is Lysefjord, stretching 26 miles like an emerald blade, wedged between towering vertical granite cliffs. The path leading here crosses a barren, glacier-eroded rocky plateau where only moss, lichen, and cairns mark the way through the wilderness. In early summer, melting snow creates a series of waterfalls that plunge thousands of feet directly into the fjord, sending up an ethereal mist into the air. Do you dare to spend the night in a hotel suspended right on the edge of a cliff, where the Surichinghei Cliff Waterfall Wild Luxury Hotel clings to the mountainside and offers an unobstructed view down into the valley and the Zhiqishui River below? The rooms are designed with floor-to-ceiling windows and bathtubs placed right next to the window, allowing guests to relax and soak while admiring the bamboo forest and cliff face, all while ensuring absolute privacy. The entire resort is surrounded by subtropical vegetation with ancient ferns, moss, and fungi growing on wet rocks at the base of the waterfall, creating the feeling of being in a primeval forest. From the balcony or restaurant, your gaze takes in the majestic winding course of the Tsingy River, flowing through deep, profound gorges. Behind this luxurious appearance lies an extreme engineering challenge, as the hotel's pile foundation system must be deeply anchored into the bedrock within the mountainside to ensure absolute safety high above the ground. Erta Ale, located in Ethiopia's desolate Danakil Depression, is one of the planet's most active and captivating volcanoes. It is not a steep-sided stratovolcano, but rather a shield volcano with gently sloping sides formed by vast flows of fluid basaltic lava spreading over an enormous area. Its lava lake has maintained continuous activity since at least 1906, making it one of the longest existing exposed lava lakes ever recorded by humans. Surrounding the summit are fields of solidified black lava, twisted like gigantic tree roots and cracked like a plowed road surface, creating an otherworldly landscape. Would you be ready to face the extreme journey to Angel Falls, the tallest waterfall on Earth, with a height of about 3,211 feet of uninterrupted free fall, hidden deep inside Roraima National Park, a vast World Heritage area roughly the size of the entire country of Belgium? There are no roads here, so travelers must fly by small plane to the town of Roraima and then ride a wooden river canoe upstream through the wild rainforest for days before finally reaching the base of the waterfall. The equatorial sunlight and the enormous spray from the falling water create huge rainbows at the foot of the cliff, and from a helicopter it is even possible to see a perfect 360-degree circle of rainbow. Because of the massive height of the fall, on windy days or during the dry season, much of the water never reaches the ground and instead turns into thick mist floating in the air, transforming the waterfall into a surreal symphony of cloud and water. Access to Angel Falls also depends completely on nature, since only between June and December, when the river water level is deep enough, can boats reach the area, while during the dry season the waterfall may shrink into only a thin stream sliding down the rock wall. Did you know that strange steel forts still stand alone in the sea off the coast of England, and they are known as the Monzel sea forts? They were built during World War II to protect the Thames estuary from air raids and naval mines. Each fort group included several steel towers linked by narrow bridges, creating a suspended defense system standing out in the open sea. After the war, some of the forts were not left completely empty, but were later used as offshore pirate radio stations during the 1960s. Even more strangely, Fort Ruffs later became the base for Sealand, a self-declared nation said to exist in the middle of the sea. At the Shivering Sands Group, a ship crashed into one of the towers in 1963, causing part of the structure to collapse and making the whole site look even more ruined and fragile than before. Zhaosu Valley in Xinjiang is considered the only county in China that almost has no summer because it sits at an elevation of more than 7,283 feet and is surrounded by high mountains that trap cold air, making the freezing winter last most of the year. During the heavy snow season, herds of illy horses run through the endless white snow, creating the magnificent scene known as Heavenly Horses Running on Snow, like a cinematic moment across the frozen grassland. Cutting across the Tian Shan Range, Shiatida Canyon rises with steep granite walls, while a powerful glacial river rushes deep below the cliffs. The closed terrain also turns this place into the lightning center of Xinjiang, where compressed air currents create sudden and violent thunderstorms. The weather in Zhaosu can change in an instant, where people may experience 4 seasons in a single day and even encounter a snowstorm in the middle of warm July sunshine. In the Bozhira Valley, two enormous limestone fangs pierce the sky, known by the Kazakh people as Azu Tisteri, standing over 656 feet tall and serving as a surreal symbol of this desolate land. Surrounding the valley is a massive fault line, cliff range called Chink, where shelves of clay and limestone abruptly plunge to a brilliant white floor, revealing breathtaking panoramic views. The absolute isolation plunges Bozhira into an eerie silence, devoid of engine noise or rustling leaves. In fact, many visitors report that the profound quiet is so immense it causes ringing in their ears and disorientation. From above, observers have also discovered V-shaped desert kites, massive stone traps built by ancient hunters approximately 2,000 years ago to herd antelopes. And right beneath your feet, amidst the arid ground, scattered fossils of seashells, prehistoric shark teeth, and sea creature bones remain, evidence that this place was once an ocean, tens of millions of years ago. At an average elevation of approximately 11,319 feet in Rangtang County, the Shuka Tibetan village is known as Sichuan's City in the Clouds, as its entire complex clings tightly to a mercilessly steep cliff. Built in the year 1771, this village, over 250 years old, is considered a living fossil, preserving intact the traditional Tibetan architecture and defensive art. Despite its precarious location, the only entrance is a narrow and steep winding path, which historically made access to it almost impossible for enemies. From the stone terraces, the view opens up to the Duke River, flowing powerfully at the base of the cliff, winding like a silver ribbon through the deep valley. Its distinctive architecture features multi-story stone towers, with the ground floor used for raising livestock, the middle floor for living, and the uppermost floor for prayer wheels. The entire village perches precariously on the edge of a cliff, hundreds of feet high, where just one misstep would mean a direct fall into the abyss below. The Namib Desert, stretching along the Atlantic coast of the nation of Namibia, is one of the oldest, most magnificent, and harshest deserts on the planet. Amidst the vivid red dunes of the Namib lies Dedvlay, a stark white clay pan where acacia trees that died more than 900 years ago still stand, preserved by an environment so arid that decomposition cannot occur. The entire Namib Sand Sea area was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2013 because it is the only coastal desert with vast sand fields directly influenced by ocean fog. At Zhaosu Valley, enormous star-shaped dunes like Big Daddy rise to heights of over 1,000 feet, as tall as a sand skyscraper amidst the immense desert sea. The Namib also surprises with its extreme temperature swings, as the sand surface can reach 140 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, hot enough to burn feet, but at night, temperatures plummet to below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Can you believe that in the sky of Georgia, there stands a house of God on top of a limestone pillar about 131 feet tall, where a small church built between the 9th and 10th centuries and dedicated to Saint Maximus the Confessor has stood in solitude for thousands of years? According to traditional monastic rules, women are completely forbidden from climbing to the top of this stone pillar under any circumstances, turning the place into a rare and strictly closed religious space. The only way to reach the top is a thin iron ladder standing at a 90-degree angle against the moss-covered cliff, where a single slip of the hand means the deep abyss waiting below. Did you know that Lake Baikal has existed for at least 25 million years, making it older than most freshwater lakes in the world and considered the oldest lake in geological history? Observed from above, Lake Baikal appears like a giant crescent moon slicing through Siberia, stretching for about 395 miles and up to about 49 miles wide, standing out amidst the vast frozen landscape. It is also home to the Nerpa, the only freshwater seal species on the planet. And to this day, scientists have not been able to precisely explain how their ancestors from the Arctic Ocean could have migrated into a lake located deep inland. Surrounding the lake are snow-capped mountain ranges like Baikal and Barguzin, along with the vast Siberian taiga forest with pine, spruce, and cedar, creating an absolutely pristine landscape. On Olkhon Island, Shamanka Rock extends right to the water's edge and is considered a sacred symbol linked to the legend of one of the 13 supreme deities of the Buryat people. Baikal is also an active geological fault with about 2,000 tremors each year, and there was an earthquake in 1862 that caused an area of about 77 square miles, along with 5 villages, to sink to the bottom of the lake in the blink of an eye. Beneath the Yucatan Peninsula lies a vast underground water labyrinth called Sistema Sac Actun, the longest underwater cave and river system on Earth, stretching for hundreds of miles below the ground and connecting countless sinkholes into one enormous network. Open sinkholes reveal surreal landscapes where steep limestone cliffs plunge straight down into calm, turquoise water, creating a scene that looks like something from a science fiction movie. From the jungle above, massive roots from ancient trees hang down and grip the rock walls, stretching for dozens of feet toward the water and forming natural structures that resemble giant stairways or layered stone curtains. At certain times of day, sunlight passes through openings in the cave ceiling and forms glowing blue columns of light that shine straight into the deep, dark water like lasers cutting through the darkness. Along the Algarve coast of Portugal lies a colossal limestone cavern named Algar de Benagil, a natural sinkhole carved out by ocean waves over thousands of years. The cave features 2 grand arched entrances opening directly to the ocean, and from the sandy beach inside, they form perfect frames enclosing the deep blue sea in an artistic play of light and shadow. Around noon, sunlight shines directly through a hole in the ceiling, creating a natural spotlight illuminating the golden sand, offering photographers the most surreal moments. The cave ceiling soars dozens of feet high with a rounded arch sculpted by wind and sea salt. appearing like an architectural masterpiece designed by nature itself. The sand layer inside is continuously renewed by ocean waves each day, both carrying away and depositing new material on the cave floor. However, this very erosion that creates its beauty is also silently thinning the limestone. And one day, this entire colossal arch may collapse into the sea. Did you know that Ijen is one of only 2 rare places in the world where blue fire burns brightly in the dark, right in the middle of the volcano's crater, creating a spectacle almost non-existent anywhere else? Many people mistakenly believe this is blue lava, but in reality, the lava remains its normal red-orange color, while the blue flames appear because sulfur gas compressed under high-pressure escapes and ignites upon contact with air. At the bottom of the crater, there is a stark contrast between the turquoise color of the acid lake, the dazzling yellow of the sulfur, and the barren dark gray of the volcanic rock walls. The sulfur gas here can reach approximately 1,112 degrees Fahrenheit, causing the blue fire columns to rise up to 16.5 feet high in the darkness. In that harsh environment, miners still break off sulfur and carry between 154 and nearly 200 pounds on their shoulders while climbing uphill and walking nearly 2 miles just to earn a little over $10 a day. The Pinnacles in Western Australia are the result of thousands of years of rain and wind, as rainwater dissolved calcium from seashells and seeped into the sand, cementing it, and then desert winds blew away the surrounding soft sand, revealing hard limestone pillars emerging from the ground like skeletons. The surface of the pillars is not smooth at all, but full of pits and rough like a honeycomb due to the constant erosion by sea salt carried by the wind over a long period. During the hot season, The harshness also comes from dense swarms of bushflies, constantly clinging to faces, forcing visitors to wear head nets for protection. Despite being arid, this area is still home to emus, grey kangaroos, and bobtail lizards that have adapted to the desert environment. According to Noongar legend, the pillars are young warriors who were punished by the spirits and turned into stone for violating tribal laws. Champagne Pool in New Zealand is so beautiful it almost does not look real, but it is actually a geothermal crater that is still boiling and releasing gas just below the ground in an extreme environment. The surface is always bubbling because carbon dioxide gas keeps rising from below, making the whole pool look like a giant glass of champagne fizzing in the middle of the wild. But beneath that calm-looking surface is extreme heat, with the deep water system reaching about 500 degrees Fahrenheit, while the water in the pool stays around 163 to 167 degrees Fahrenheit. The most striking feature is the bright orange ring around the edge, so vivid that it looks like the water is glowing from the inside. And what makes this place even harder to believe is that the whole pool is not still at all, but keeps working like a living geothermal system just under the surface of the Earth. What happens when an entire land area spanning approximately 2,900 square miles completely transforms each year from a sea of water into a vast white salt desert, creating the Rann of Kutch, one of the largest salt deserts on the planet? Unlike a typical desert, this place presents two distinct faces. During the monsoon season, the entire area transforms into a shallow, waterlogged marsh, while winter leaves behind an endless expanse of white salt crust. This white and grey monotony brilliantly highlights the vibrant, hand-embroidered clothing, mirror-studded ribbons, and sparkling jewelry of passing nomads. Did you know that Mount Roraima is located right at the triple border of Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana, standing out not for a pointed peak, but for its flat summit, spanning approximately 12 square miles, surrounded by sheer cliffs, nearly 1,300 feet high, resembling a natural fortress amidst the clouds. thanks to the thick layers of clouds and fog year-round. Standing on the summit feels like being on a floating island amidst a vast sea of white clouds that completely envelops the entire mountain. The climate here is so extreme that while the base of the mountain features hot and humid rainforests and savannas, ascending to the summit means facing prolonged torrential rains, relentless stormy winds, and nighttime temperatures that can drop to close to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. The journey to reach it is far from simple. With no roads or cable cars, you must trek for about 6 to 8 days through scorching tropical rainforests, wade across swift rivers, and climb a treacherous incline, known as Parai Tepui, to finally reach the gateway to the summit, making the trip a challenging experience for both physical and mental endurance. Would you dare to spend the night at an elevation of about 11,859 feet in the French Alps, where climbers stop before attempting to conquer Mont Blanc along the harsh Trois-Monts route? There is no road leading here, and all food, water, gas cylinders, and even waste must be transported by helicopter through severe weather conditions. To reach this place, climbers must cross a narrow, icy ridge barely wide enough for 1 foot. On both sides lie abysses thousands of feet deep, where a single slip almost leaves no chance of survival. At this altitude, the amount of oxygen is only about 65% compared to sea level, so altitude sickness is very common. Sadalur, located on Vaga Island in the Faroe Islands, part of the Kingdom of Denmark, is a small village perched on a cliff edge overlooking the fierce North Atlantic Ocean. Due to its near-complete isolation in the past, the population here drastically declined, and currently only about 11 to 16 permanent residents live here. The houses, with their characteristic dense green grass roofs, not only create a fairy tale beauty, but also act as a natural insulation layer against the bitter winter. The entire surrounding valley has no native woody trees, but is covered by velvet-smooth grass and green moss under a windy, subarctic climate. Amidst this isolated and wild landscape, do you have enough courage to choose to live here year-round? Can you believe that the world's largest limestone forest exists in Madagascar, where the Tsingy Reserve stretches about 587 square miles and is the planet's densest karst formation? In Malagasy, Tsingy means the place where one cannot walk barefoot, a name that accurately describes the tens of thousands of sharp limestone pinnacles pointing skyward like gigantic blades. For visitors to explore, engineers had to drill directly into the cliff faces to install a system of suspension bridges, wooden ladders, and cables suspended over chasms hundreds of feet deep, transforming each step into a challenging ordeal. Amidst this razor-sharp stone labyrinth, white sifaka lemurs move nimbly thanks to special footpads that help them leap between the sharp peaks without injury. Few people know that about 200 million years ago, this area was once the seabed, and it was tropical rain over millions of years that carved out today's sharp masterpiece. Can you believe that on Socotra Island there exists the dragon's blood tree with a wide canopy shaped like an upside-down umbrella, making the entire landscape look as if it came from a science fiction movie? The local people here speak Socotri, an ancient Semitic language that is passed down only through poetry and songs and has no official writing system. In the center of the island, the Diksam Valley opens into dense forests of dragon's blood trees growing along red sandstone cliffs and deep, dramatic canyons. Clinging to the bare, rocky slopes is the swollen desert rose tree, with a thick trunk shaped like a clay jar that stores water, crowned with bright pink flowers against the dry stone landscape. The granite Hajhir Mountains rise more than 4,900 feet and cut across the island with sharp, rugged peaks that are often hidden in thick mist. At Aher and Zahek, enormous white sand dunes hundreds of feet high plunge directly into the turquoise waters of the Arabian Sea, creating a scene that feels both wild and surreal. Saltstraumen in Norway is a place where the sea is forced through a narrow strait only about 500 feet wide, creating one of the strongest tidal currents in the world. About every 6 hours, nearly 14 billion cubic feet of water surges through this channel, which is about 2 miles long, turning the surface into a mass of rolling, twisting, and crashing motion. When the tide is at its strongest, the water can reach about 23 miles per hour, creating giant whirlpools up to about 33 feet wide and around 13 to 16 feet deep. What makes this place frightening is that it does not need deep cliffs or steep rock walls, because the sea itself here is already violent, unstable, and hard to predict. Crossing above it is the Saltstraumen Bridge, a structure about 2,500 feet long and around 135 feet above the water, allowing you to look straight down at the raging current below. Standing on the bridge, you can clearly see that the water is no longer flowing in a normal way, but is being pulled, bent, and twisted into an extreme tidal machine in the cold seas of Norway. Did you know that beneath the thick ice of the Mendenhall Glacier, which stretches about 13 miles long, there are enormous caves not formed from rock, but carved directly inside the ice itself? Inside, the entire space glows with a brilliant and mysterious blue light, as if you were standing beneath the surface of a frozen ocean. Looking up at the ceiling, the ice surface is not smooth, but sculpted into thousands of shell-shaped hollows created by flowing air and water, producing a sparkling effect like crystal. The cave is always slowly melting, with freezing droplets constantly falling from the ceiling and joining a stream of icy water flowing across the ground. And even if the city of Juneau outside may be a warm 68 degrees Fahrenheit, stepping through the cave entrance instantly drops the temperature to freezing, where every breath turns into mist in the biting cold. Did you know that after Antarctica and Greenland, the world's third largest freshwater reserve is located in Los Glaciares National Park in Argentina? This park is home to 47 large glaciers and over 200 small glaciers, among which Perito Moreno stands out with a front approximately 3 miles long and a vertical ice wall towering 200 to 230 feet above the water, not to mention the parts submerged over 550 feet below the lake bed. The ice here is not white, but glows a surreal blue because snow has been compressed for hundreds of years, pushing out oxygen and reflecting only the cold blue hue. Bringing a boat too close to the glacier front is extremely dangerous because every day, bus-sized ice chunks can unpredictably break off, producing a cannon-like roar and creating large waves on the lake. The Danakil Depression lies in northern Ethiopia, near the border with Eritrea, and is considered one of the harshest, most toxic, and hottest places ever found on the surface of Earth. Although some locations have recorded higher peak temperatures, Danakil holds the record for the highest average yearly temperature on the planet, maintaining about 94 degrees Fahrenheit and often exceeding 122 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer. Inside the depression, the geothermal field of Dalol stands out, with bubbling pools of neon-colored water that make the landscape feel like you are standing on a distant alien planet. Nearby, Lake Karum spreads out as a perfectly flat white salt sea stretching to the horizon, and when a thin layer of water covers the surface, it turns into a giant mirror reflecting the sky above. But behind this beauty lies water that is extremely acidic and almost boiling, with a pH level that can drop below 1, powerful enough to cause severe burns and corrode human skin with a single touch. From above, Los Caracoles Pass, stretching across the mighty Andes, looks exactly like a giant snake crawling back up a snow-covered mountain on the border between Chile and Argentina. To reach an elevation of more than 10,000 feet, you have to hold your breath and steer through 29 steep zigzag switchbacks in a row, with no safety barriers at all between you and the edge of the deep abyss. Despite the frozen and slippery road surface, heavy trucks still have to grind their way through each deadly turn, where just one skid can cost an entire life. This spectacular but merciless road is truly one of the harsh corners of the earth, powerful enough to leave you breathless in awe. The Fly Geyser, located on the edge of the Black Rock Desert in Nevada, USA, is one of the most surreal and vibrant landmarks in the world. Can you believe that Fly Geyser was born from a human error in 1964, when a geothermal company drilled an exploratory well but failed to seal it properly, causing hot water to break through the seal and continuously erupt onto the surface? As the water overflows down the base of the cones, it forms about 30 to 40 small terraced pools that reflect light like natural mirrors in the desert. The Amazon rainforest spans approximately 2.1 million square miles, so vast that if it were a country, it would rank as the 9th largest in the world, with over 60% of its area located within Brazilian territory. It is one of the most vital ecosystems on the planet, harboring about 10% of all known animal and plant species, from millions of insect species to thousands of different birds, mammals, and fish. The Amazon is also home to over 400 indigenous groups, including more than 50 tribes that have never had any contact with the modern world. Few would guess that each year, tens of millions of tons of phosphorus-rich dust from the Bozhira Depression, part of the Sahara Desert, are carried by winds across the Atlantic Ocean to replenish and sustain the lushness of this forest. The climate here maintains an average temperature between about 81 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, but the humidity often reaches 80 to 100%, making the air thick and easily exhausting those unfamiliar with it.